Good afternoon, everybody. Well, of course, it's evening for some people, but this is Flush in the Pocket podcast presented by Brunswick, the brands of Brunswick. We'll talk about that coming up after the show, but yeah, presented by the brands of Brunswick. And on this episode, we have a PBA Tour bowler who has over $300,000 in career earnings. Not yet won a title, but he will very soon. Martin Larsen, how are you, sir?
Thank you for the introduction. Yeah, I'm doing good. Like you said, it's getting close to sunset here, and yeah, I'm getting ready to cook some dinner for my kids after we're done with this. But I'm looking forward to a chat.
Awesome. Yeah, excellent. So, how did you start bowling?
I have to blame my dad for taking me to the bowling center. I was all in for a lot of sports when I was younger, but my dad has been bowling for a long time, and he took me to the bowling center when I was 8, 9 years old. So from there it is. That's the start of it.
So, was your dad your coach, or were you self-taught, or did you have another coach?
No, he did the first act there for sure when it comes to coaching, and then there was a couple of other guys in our local center that helped out for sure. Until it was time to move on for other coaches, but I've been going through a lot of coaches in my career.
Mm-hmm. So, what bowling accomplishment happened to you that made you ready to try the tour? And like what was your high level bowling like over in Sweden?
Basically, I think there was one big thing that didn't make me try tour earlier. For a long time in my career, you couldn't bowl in a national team at the same time as you were a professional bowler.
Mhm.
So that's the reason for like Mika Koivuniemi and a bunch of those guys not being able to represent their country. And for me, it's always been a big thing to bowl for my country. I
Mhm.
love the national team championships and stuff. So when that thing opened up, I think it was probably around '07 or something around that time.
Mhm.
Tom Clark was over in the World Championship '08 in Thailand and made clear that they wanted international flavors on the PBA tour. So when it was time for World Series '09, I want to give it a go. I bowled Masters one time before, but not a lot of tour stuffs before that. So that was the next step in my career. Been bowling all over the world, traveling a lot with guys like Tim Mack and other top athletes that travel the world. So for me, that was the next step and try the tour at that time.
So, who did you look up to before you went on tour? Who were some of your favorite pros growing up?
There's been many, but growing up in this part of the world, also there's some top candidates like Mika Koivuniemi from Finland, Tore Torgersen, Norway,
Mhm.
Thomas Leandersson here from Sweden.
Mhm.
I say those are among a lot of others, but those are three guys in that era that were really good when I started to become something in bowling. So I've been looking up for those guys a lot.
So, how did you come to get on the staffs that you're on? So, you're on the Storm Bowling Products staff, and you're on any other staffs. How'd that happen?
Well, I guess there is a couple of different ways you could get on staff, and of course you need to be able to throw the ball decent, and I was fortunate to have a good sponsor here in Sweden for a long time that made me able to throw all brands. He didn't really want me to sign up and locked in for one of the brands, so that kept me away from it for a while, and of course it was a great situation to be able to throw everything.
Mhm.
But then I won a European tour stop in Barcelona one year when West Pie was there on
Mhm.
site, and
Mhm.
we started the discussion there. And I guess it started a little bit before that, but it took off there. So I always liked Storm products and have a lot of idols been throwing Storm stuff. So it was a big step and a major thing to be able to become a Storm staffer and. Yeah, ever since then, I don't even know exactly the year, but I guess it's getting close to 20 years. It's something between 15 and 20 years, I think. So I've been with Storm, and they've been very loyal to me, and I'm trying to be loyal to them.
Good. Uh, So how do you travel on tour?
How do I travel, or
Like,
with
do you
who do I
right?
travel?
Like, no. How do you travel? Like a lot of pros way back in the day, that you would get an RV or whatever.
Uh-huh.
But I know that it's kind of difficult being in Sweden. And you're in the U.S. How do you, when you're here? I guess do you fly from stop to stop? Do you drive?
Well, I'm fortunate enough to have a bunch of really good friends. So when
Mhm.
obviously we fly from Sweden to the States, but
Sure.
like for this swing here, PBA has been a little nicer to us than recently to put the stops in drivable distance. So, for example, the last time I was over, I was rooming with Barnes and Stu and Dominic.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been traveling together, driving from stop to stop there. And whenever I have a chance to go back home, I'll catch one of those steel birds and get over here. And so it's when we can, we drive. It's easier with all the stuff, and nowadays flights is pretty expensive too.
Sure. Oh, absolutely. So, are there any plans to move to the United States? I mean, it might make it a little easier, but I mean, do you ever have any? Because I mean, Mika did it. Do you ever have any plans to do that?
Actually, when Mika did it, the tour was, I believe, 10 weeks and a break and another 10 weeks. It made a lot of sense for him with everything. Now, when the tour being a little bit more slimmed,
Hmm.
I don't have any plans of moving. Me and my family really enjoys and I think we have a great place to stay and live here in Sweden. So I'll take my miles, air miles instead, and stay where I am.
Sure. What was your best moment on tour so far?
Whoa. I've always been a guy that thrives and like the team atmosphere. So even if that's not the biggest things on tour to play the and become the a champion of the league, but being involved in the Lumberjacks winning
Mm,
the Elias Cup, that's up there. I would rank it pretty high in emotions to be able to win with such a good group of players and a long time friend as a team manager in Timac. So that was pretty cool. There's been some other ones like every time you make a show on tour, it's a great moment. But
mhm,
obviously, me having missed the title thing, so I hope I have the best moment in front of me.
mhm. Oh, I think you do. I definitely think you do. And the PBA league in Portland, that is so. I look forward to that every single year. That is so fun. I
Yeah, it's a
mean,
great time. Unfortunately, the one when I won, I've been in it for many times, and I loves Bayside and Charlie and the guys up there.
mhm,
Unfortunately, the one I was in the team to win was when we played without audience. So that was a little I put a little shade to it, but still to be able to bowl with guys that you look up to and seen win a lot and close friends and everything like that. It's pretty special.
yeah. And we're chatting with Martin Larson, PBA bowler. Please like and subscribe to our Flush in the Pocket podcast presented by the Brands of Brunswick. What would you say was your worst moment on tour so far?
Well, I don't know if you should say that it is on tour, but of course, 2019 when I was getting ready to bowl one of the stops in Chesapeake, and I was got hit by a car and I was really unfortunately I got into the hospital and stuff. So that is for sure the worst moment if you count it on tour. It was not actually on the lanes, but
Right.
one of my scariest moments ever in life and connected to the tour and traveling. So that's for sure up there. But when it comes to moments on the lanes, it's I mean I was one shot away of winning the title against Haugen in South Point when it was brand new the Plaza
Hmm.
and failed. So sport wise, that I guess that's up there for sure.
So you got over $300,000 in career earnings, and you don't have any wins right now, but I believe you'll get some. How much do you think about that when you're on and off the lanes?
To be honest, not very much at all. It is one of my few main goals still there in my career to be able to win. But it's so hard. There's so many good ones. So the only thing you really think about is when you prepare. When you're up there, you have to be sharp enough to just focus on your next shot and the task to get that you have in front of you. About I don't really think about winning too much, and I, to be honest, I got to the point of my career. I'm getting a little older and stuff. I will not say that my career would be a failure if I don't win, and I will not be super disappointed. But it's still one of the goals that makes me go practice, makes me go work out, and all that stuff. It's up there, but not all the time when I bowl.
Sure. So what would you like to accomplish? I know you want to win a title, and what do you want to accomplish throughout your entire career for you to have a satisfactory career on the PBA tour?
Well, yeah, of course that win is kind of a critical thing. Like you want to call yourself a PBA champion, but the main time of my career has been outside the tour, and when it comes to experiences, both sport wise and on and off the lanes. The life I've lived and been able to live with that amount of travel, that amount of friends all over the world. Um, I'll say whatever happening in front of me, I'm going to be really proud of what I've done, and also really what do you call it? Appreciated about to the sport from what I've been experienced. So I just like to give back a little bit to the bowling world, what bowling has been giving me.
Great. What is the best part about being an elite bowler or a professional bowler?
Well, I'll say anytime you can do something you really love to do. I love to go to work. I love to go to put on the shoes and go bowl. That together with the game we play, we don't really involve our opponents. We can't really do too much about our opponents, so that makes us have a lot of good friends in what we do. So when we step off the lanes, I have friends from all over the world. So that I'll say the relationship with my opponents is probably one of the biggest things.
Yeah. What's the worst thing about being a pro bowler?
It is pretty tough. It's a tough way to make a living. There's not too many guys that has to be fortunate enough to make a living out of it. No matter how good you play, there is always a couple of other guys that seems to have a better idea. So it's you can feel as being a pretty good bowler until you get on tour. Then you feel average. So it could be tough mentally for sure.
Sure. What are your thoughts on the bowling ball controversy going on right now?
What do you?
So last year, I think last year in the Masters, there was a day somebody bowled, like you guys bowled a day, and then all of a sudden you found out that five or six balls were banned from that were Storm products. All that stuff. What do you the urethane versus reactive? What are your thoughts?
Well, I think overall, right should be right. There is rules. The rules need to be followed. In that particular case, do I think it could be handled a little bit differently? Yes, probably. The way it was handled in the middle of one of our biggest tournaments was not ideal in my point of view. The way the urethane thing has been handled has been pretty strange. I haven't really seen the there's a lot of different cases being handled differently. I would like to see all the cases being handled the same way to make it clear what's right and what's wrong. There's a lot of things that could have been handled differently, I think. But overall, I think it's the correct thing to make sure that the right is right and wrong is wrong.
Sure. So what's a PBA rule you agree with? Yeah.
A really good PBA rule is that you need to rethrow your shot if you strike on the wrong lane, and you need to keep your result if you don't strike.
Okay, so if you leave a 10 pin on the wrong lane, you and you go to the right lane, is that how that works? You still
Yeah, so if you're supposed to get up on the right lane and you by accident go up on the left lane and
Mhm,
strike, then
mhm.
you have to go and rethrow that shot on your correct lane. But if you leave something, a 9 or a split or whatever, then you have to stick with it. So it's up to you to make sure you bowl on the right lane. And if you
Mhm.
don't, and bowl in the wrong lane, there is no way you can get benefited by it. So I think that's a really good rule that should be
Sure,
implemented all over the world.
absolutely. What is a PBA rule you disagree with?
Hmm. What is a PBA rule I disagree with? There's basically nothing that comes up to my mind straight away. I think they're
Mhm.
pretty good when it comes up to make the rules, and I probably could find something else if I think about it more. But at the
That's all
moment,
right.
there's none.
So, what is not a PBA rule that should be?
Hmm. Now we're getting into the tough ones. What
Yeah,
is
yeah.
not a PBA? Yeah, the only one that I have a little bit of argue with is the way we do the skipping when we bowl tournaments.
Okay.
I believe that following different players is more important than hitting every pair in the bowling center. Take for example. So,
Mhm.
so if there's anything that we can work on and do a little bit better, I think is the skipping procedure.
Sure. Do you have a bowling center? Let's see. Uh, uh, I'm sorry. Do you have a bowling center on tour that you seem to perform well at, or anywhere?
Anywhere, yeah. I haven't really figured out a favorite center, or maybe that comes together with my whole idea of practicing and getting better when I was younger. I didn't want to have a favorite part of the lane to play. I wanted to be a factor wherever, whatever pattern we bowl on, whatever spot on the lane that should be good. Um, that makes me that maybe makes me average in a lot of stuff, and that might be a reason why I haven't won. Who knows?
Mhm.
But I tend to not have a favorite place like that. I have to say. So I
Sure.
did pretty good in the at the plaza for a while when were there. So, but I can't say that there's any place I say, oh, let's go there. I'll win.
Mm. Is there a bowling center that you kind of struggle at when you go, or
One place that was a little strange because I think that it might have been the first time we went to Shawnee.
Mhm.
I made a TV show on the Wolf there,
Mhm.
and I can't really remember doing a lot of good since there since then
Okay.
in that place.
All right. What did you do to take your mind off of bowling?
Well, I have a lovely family, so as soon as I see my girls at home, that makes me take the mind off of bowling. But another way, when we're out on tour and stuff, and we have a chance to play golf,
Mhm.
I really like that. It's like putting pause on your life and stuff for 4 hours, and just laugh and think about the game of golf instead. So that's pretty relaxing.
Yeah. So we were breezing through these. Martin, when was the last time you shot 300?
That was a couple of weeks ago. I did that here home when we bowled our type of league. That was not too long ago, but I don't know when I did it on tour last time. That's way too long.
Mhm. Yeah, no, I got you. How are things going with your Lucky Larson? That's a great tournament that you started down there.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we're working hard with that at the moment. We're super proud about it and super happy to be the one international event that's going to give away a PBA title this September.
Mhm.
So it takes a lot of work, a lot of hours into to different meetings and stuff with sponsors and city and hotel and everything. But we're really looking forward to host that event in the beginning of September. So hopefully we have a couple of great tour guys coming over and see if we can what name we can add to the winner circle there.
Sure. So the reason I asked if when the last time you bowled 300 was is because you're going to do it right now, and then you're going to, of course, have your dinner. Ah, but we're going to do a thing called going flush in the pocket. 12 strikes, 12 questions, and strictly just your voice and your answers, and just some fun things to get to know you better. What's your favorite food?
Actually, favorite. I love both a steak, but I have to say I'm a seafood guy. I love a great fish dish.
Okay. What is your guilty pleasure?
Oh, um, that's a rough one. Well, it's not a lot of things that goes up to a cold beer.
I like it. I like it. We'll have one in September. I'll buy.
Yeah.
What's your favorite music?
I kind of like the rock genre, like to the American audience, like Nickelback kind of style, and
Yeah.
all the old really good ones like Metallica, Iron Maiden, AC/DC stuff. I'm into that.
Right. What's your favorite time of day?
Uh, ooh, I have to say lunch and a couple of hours after that. So
Yeah.
early PMs.
Nice. Favorite sports team?
Ooh, yeah, as a lot of you guys knows, in Europeans are into soccer and ice hockey.
Hmm.
So at the moment, I'm cheering on my Premier League team, Arsenal. They're having the best chance in years to win the Premier League. So I'll say Arsenal for now.
Excellent. Who's your hockey team? Do you have one? NHL?
Yeah, well, actually, I used to root a little bit for Detroit Red Wings because they had so many Swedes.
Yeah.
But now I just like to watch any NHL because there's a lot of Swedes play hockey.
Excellent. Yep.
I know Tampa's been really good for a while, and Boston Bruins is also a great team.
Yeah.
But I'm not really rooting for any. I just
Sure.
like to watch it all overall.
Sure. Favorite hangout?
Favorite hangout. I, I like the golf course. After you played around, have a cold beer after 18 holes of golf. That's a great time.
That's the only hole I excel at is the 19th hole. Definitely. I
There you
totally
go.
understand that. Yeah. Party all night or quiet night at home?
Well, if you asked me 10, 15 years ago, I'll say party all night.
Yeah.
But it's the quiet night at home in the couch with the girls around. So
Sure.
that beats it by far by now.
Excellent. Favorite bowling ball of all time?
Yeah, that's a good one, huh? I it's always a little hard to say all time, but High Road, the
Sure.
original High Road.
Hmm. Coke or Pepsi? Or neither. I mean, some
Um,
people don't.
I- I'm a Coke Zero guy.
Yep. Okay. All right. Do you have a celebrity crush?
Not really. I can't. No. If I had one, I don't know if I would admit it, but I can't really say I have a celebrity crush. I'm not one of those guys. Whoever I would walk up at this on the street, I wouldn't go up and say, "Hey, let's take a selfie and sign this and sign this."
Yeah.
I'll respect the privacy, but I don't have any
There you
real
go.
crush like that.
So if you could have dinner with three people, living or past, who would they be?
Ooh. Ooh. That's a tough one. Um, hmm. No, I don't see any reason to give away a dinner with my family. It's there's no better than that.
Oh, there you go. So favorite toy as a child?
I'll say anything that was round, anything you can kick or roll, any ball.
Absolutely, absolutely. Hey, listen, man. Thank you so much for doing this. That was 10 or that was Flush in the Pocket with Martin Larsen. Hey, listen, man. Thank you so much. Good luck the rest of the way. Are you going on tour anytime soon, or what's going on?
Yeah, so I've been home rehabbing a little bit. I've been having some issues with my hip, but it's getting better and better. My plan is to travel out to the States and bowl Kokomo Masters World Series. So
Excellent.
that's what's coming up for me. So I enjoy watching those guys bowl in Jackson right now, and then I'm gonna watch the TOC. I love watching all the bowl TV stuff, and also since I'm now working a little bit with Lane Talk, all the stats we can provide and see who's doing what. So I keep track on the boys from both the bowl TV and the Lane Talk stats, and then I'm trying to be sharp and come back for Kokomo.
Excellent, man. Well, good luck to you the rest of the way. Thank you so much for doing this. Thank you, and I will see you in September, my friend.
My pleasure. Thank you very much. All the best, guys.
You too. Bye. That was Martin Larsen, and that was a quick one. I kind of figured it would be. He's time zone is a little different. So, yeah, that was great. Martin Larsen has a nice bowling story, nice PBA story. And he's just an elite bowler, great guy too. So what I mentioned before with the Flush in the Pocket podcast presented by Brunswick, presented by the Brands of Brunswick. We worked out a deal, and it's it's not necessarily a money deal. It's a, he said, mention us and we'll send you some product or whatever that you can either raffle off or use. I'm probably going to use them. But we will see in the future. I can, definitely do something for this, but thank you, Brunswick Bowling, for being willing to do that. So yes, from now on, and the logo might change, probably is going to. Flush in the Pocket presented by Brunswick. I will see you tomorrow night. Tomorrow night we have Michelle Sterner at 8:00. So we'll talk to you then. In the meantime, please like and subscribe, and always go Flush in the Pocket. Talk to you later, everybody.